Next part, we will study how to take care of clothes after we understand all the properties of the fabric. Students, we know that there are different steps for handling our clothes, for example, bleaching, washing, drying, and ironing. And different kinds of clothing need specific care. For example, evening gowns, we need to wash it by hand or by dry cleaning. So I would like to introduce to you the care labels. It is used to show the way of cleaning and taking care of our clothes. When you look at this label, there is a washing bucket inside. That means it shows us how to wash the clothes. And triangle, that means bleaching. A square inside, that means drying. And iron means ironing. And the circle means dry cleaning. The importance is that if we follow the instructions of the care label, there will be less fading of our clothes and there will be less damage to the fabric and make the clothes more durable. Here are the examples of care label for different fabric. You can see it shows the percentage of that kind of fabric and there is some symbol over it. So you can follow instructions to handle your clothes. Here is the picture to show you more information about the care label. For washing, you can see this bucket symbol, and if there is a cross over it, that means do not do that. So you can see a cross over the bucket, that means do not wash, and then over a circle, that means do not tumble dry, etc. And you may note that for ironing, when you see just one dot over there, that means iron the clothes with low heat. And if you see two dots, that means iron the clothes with medium heat. So this is just for your reference. All right, I would like to introduce a kind of washing powder for you. When you do washing, uh, especially in for machine wash, you need to use that specific kind of powder, that is machine washing powder. It will generate less bubbles. And for our washing machine, I would like to remind you that because it is quite dirty, if you use it for a long time, you have to clean the washing machine by using this kind of cleaning powder. You may share it with your family. So for bleaching, if there is some stain on our clothes, we want to remove it. We use these bleaching agents. There is white clothing bleaching agents and colored clothing bleaching agents. So we have to choose it for the right clothing. If it is a colored clothing, we need to use this colored bleaching agent. Otherwise, the color will be fade. So if we want to soften the fabric and to have anti-static function, we can add fabric conditioner. This is for your information. And for drying, there are four kinds mainly. The first kind is called line dry. That means you can see the picture over there to hang the clothes. And then for tumble dry is to put the clothes inside this tumble dry machine and it will be heat. And then for the third kind, that is the flat dry. So some clothes, the shape will be altered after washing. So we have to dry it in flat, for example, woolen fabric. And the last one is drip dry. For flat dry clothing, uh, we can't squeeze it, and so we use this drip dry method to wet it, to dry it. I would like to introduce also this multi-purpose clothes hanger for you because it is used for drip dry and then flat dry, and you can easily hang the clothes over there. It is very useful. All right, I have also some things to remind you that for swimming suits, because it is made from man-made fabric, it is elastic. It is better not to dry it under directly sunshine because it will break easily. And for woolen fabric, it is better wash it by hand and in cool water and use flat drying method. You may also put the clothes inside a laundry bag to protect it because some clothes may have some beads, metals, or other decorations. So last part, I would like to give you some tips in ironing. Let's look at this video.
I'm Stephen Horton, founder of Burford Ballet Service. Hello, and I'm going to show you the proper way to iron a shirt. Step 1. Dampen it. The best time to iron a shirt is when it's freshly washed and still slightly damp. If it's dry, use a spray bottle to dampen it. Your iron will probably have a spray function too. Step 2. Collar and cuffs. Make sure that your iron is at the correct temperature. Select the cotton setting and give it plenty of time to heat up. When ironing the collar, start from the point and move inwards. Ironing the other way will leave a telltale upward curve in the fabric. Now, the cuffs. Iron the inside a little to get the main creases out, then start on the outside. As with the collar, always start from the outside and iron inwards. Once you have ironed them, fold the cuffs over and press them to give a pleat that runs along the line of the arm. Step 3. The yoke and back. Start with the yoke. That's the section that covers the back of the shoulders. Fit the shirt onto your ironing board, like so. Iron the yoke, starting from the outside and moving inwards. Carefully press down any pleats. Now iron the rest of the back of the shirt, using plenty of steam to get the creases out. Step 4. The front and back it. Once the back is free of creases, rotate your shirt on the board. Iron the front, applying steam and pressure to the backing. That's the part with the buttons and buttonholes. When the first side is done, rotate the shirt around and do the other side. Press between the buttons using the tip of the iron. When the creases are all out, you're ready to move on to the sleeves. Step 5. The sleeves. Lay out the sleeve on the board. Use the seam to make sure it's flat before pressing it. Repeat the process with the other sleeve and you're done. Finally, a tip. If you're travelling and need to fold your shirt, this is the best way to do it. Button it up, every other button is fine. Lie the shirt on its front and lay an A4 sheet of card on the back. Bring one side over. Fold the sleeve over, line the cuff flat as it was ironed. Now do the other side. Fold the bottom of the shirt and sleeves up and then fold in half like so. If extra care is required, you can fold it again, leaving the collar on the inside. Just make sure that you give it a quick press when you arrive.
Okay, students, here are the ironing tips. So first, double the heat. You may use aluminum foil under the ironing board cover to save more energy to increase the heat level. And second, clear water. Please put some warm boiled water or distilled water into the iron during the ironing process to avoid some stain onto your clothes. And then third, inside out. Please iron black and dark garments inside out. And fourth, order counts. So you can iron cuffs, hems, and collar first. And And then get it straight. Never use circular movements to avoid stretching out your fabric during ironing. And then hang up your ironed clothes immediately after ironing. And then perfect pleats, that means use paper clips to hold the shapes of the pleats. And you may use a sprinkler to spray water on the clothes to let the ironing process become smoother. And then last one is pressing cloth. Please place the cloth on top of the clothes to prevent some iron shine running out. So they are all the tips for you today. I think it's quite informative today. So I hope they are all useful for you and your family. See you next time.